you're getting a five, six, $7,000 check. Like, no way.
Mm.
Like, there's no way that dude's doing that. And then he showed me his pay stub, and then from there, I got my insurance license 2 weeks later. And I was pretty comfortable with my tech job, right? So I was making 160 a year. The big reason why I made the switch to really insurance is like, bro, the amount that I can work and the amount like I'll get paid for it. So I could go, I mean, sky's the limit, right? Like I'm seeing deposits daily now. What up, man? What up? What up?
Highly anticipated call as usual. I know you're in Chicago currently, correct?
Chirac, yes, sir.
Oh God, God forbid it's
Illinois.
Chirac. But if anyone is in the Chicagoland area, definitely need to meet up with this guy. Heard great things, but had the pleasure of having a more in-depth conversation with you yesterday to prepare for our call for today. So as always, Arnell, man, we always want to start with a little bit of background. Right? We want to get everyone to understand who is Arnell, right? So that way they can sort of gain some sort of inspiration, gain some sort of insight. Maybe they can relate to you in some regard, right? And then we're going to go over a theme and then get right into the meat of today's conversation. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
Cool,
get
man.
it.
So obviously, in terms of background, you came in the industry. You actually did have some sort of sales experience, right? I believe you worked at Comcast. You were getting paid obviously a base and commission, but then you decided to take those skills that you learned in a previous industry and bring it to insurance. And then in February, you've been with us for over about 6 months now. In February, you submitted February, you submitted $33,000 in production, only 3 months into the business. And you were doing only mortgage protection, A's mortgage protection leads, which a lot of people seem to have opinions about. But that's what we always say that, the lead is only as good as the closer is. So, and then obviously, lastly, you continue to elevate your production with $45,000 in a week. And then you wrote $88,000 in a month in May. Did I miss anything?
No, that sounds about right.
All right, glazed you up enough, yeah? So
Yeah.
let's talk about the
Appreciate
theme,
it.
yeah? So theme is, I think there's a big sort of misunderstanding when we look at the leaderboard here, in the sense where, correct me if I'm wrong, but folks seem to have this misconception that fresh leads are the best leads, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. So we want to talk about the lead strategy it took for you. So old leads, obviously a new identity of you joining the industry, and sort of get an understanding, the inner game behind the $88,000 month. So basically how you combine your self-awareness, mindset, disciplined activity, lead strategy, and then consistent role play to turn age mortgage protection leads into elite production. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool,
Let's get
man.
it.
Let's talk about you, man. Let's get everyone to understand a little bit about yourself first. Who is Ingo outside of insurance? Like, what kind of experiences would you say shaped the person who's sitting in front of me right now?
I mean,
Sitting in front of us, I should say.
yeah, I mean, as far as experience, I mean, my background, right? Like I've been in sales for 10 years, started off at Comcast where I was doing inbound sales where you're, you know, finding the value, painting the picture, you're selling, you're doing multi-product bundles. From there, I went into tech. So from there, business to business. And then started off as a BDR where I'm doing prospecting, outbounding, and then got into a closer role. And then now I'm here.
Okay.
Closing
So
closing
you
deals with you
worked
guys.
corporate. You were in the corporate ladder. How long were you in corporate for?
At least 10 years.
Wow, dude. So
About 10
you
years.
told me you're 32 now, 33 or 32?
33.
33 years young. You got in at the age of 23. What was your sort of in the same company?
No, different company.
No.
So Comcast, uh, then another company, and then another company. Tech.
Okay.
Both of the rest were tech. So business to business.
Got you, got you, got you. I'd love to figure out, I don't know if we have time today. I'd love to sort of, delve into what your understanding is of the differences between like B2B consulting and then, obviously B2C. That's a whole different topic of discussion. But
Definitely.
um I guess what got you to get into this industry, right? There's like so many other avenues you could have taken, right?
Yeah.
What led up to you getting introduced to insurance, then obviously, getting into the space itself.
Yeah, so when I was in tech, one of my boys was selling insurance, and I like, he told me how much he was making, and I was like, no, there's no way. And I thought it was a scam. Like I mean, I feel like that's everybody's perspective from it, right? You're getting a five, six, $7,000 check. Like, no way. Like,
Mhm.
there's no way that dude's doing that. And then he showed me his pay stub, and then from there, I got my insurance license 2 weeks later. I
Mhm.
started off at the practice company, and I was doing that part time while I was working tech. And
Mhm.
so I would just, get a policy here and there. And yeah, I did really well there, but also they wanted me to go full time, and I was pretty comfortable with my tech job, right? So I was making, 160 a year. So I was
Mhm.
chilling. So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna go do that because I mean, with tech, you can sit there, work, and then get off early, get off whenever you want.
Right, right.
So the big reason why I made the switch to really insurance is like, bro, the amount that I can work and the amount like I'll get paid for it. So I
Mhm.
could go, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? Like I'm seeing deposits daily now. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's why I made the switch.
No, I like that you touched on that, man, because like I think you didn't, again, as we've kind of credited other guests for this as well, but like I like the fact that you just talked about like no one can tell you how much you can make, right? Because what it sounds like is that you were previously overworked and underpaid. And so you basically, it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, you basically took the same work ethic, even a little bit more work ethic, and coupled that with the uncapped income that we have here in this industry, right? And that's a big thing, dude. I like that you touched on that because a lot of people get in this business thinking like it's I've talked about this before. People think this is about like freedom, right? And like, yes, the freedom is great. You have to build this thing up to be able to obviously leverage your income here into other industries for you to be able to generate that kind of income. No one's going to tell you to take a PTO, right? No one's going to tell you like you only have 2 weeks, right? No, you can take as many vacations as you would like to, but just remember, you got to run your business, right? People think that like, unfortunately, the common misconception is that we're under the impression that we just have a book of business that we're building, but no one talks about the maintenance of the book
Right.
of business, you know? And so when you walk away for too long, well, that might not be good, right? Because clients still need you. You might need to file death claims. You know, might need to make sure you follow people whose policies have fallen off, right? And so that is amazing that you already know that coming into this because you've already saved yourself a whirlwind of a headache and like a whirlwind of questions that, might arise later on down the road. So
Uh,
definitely more so uncapped income rather than a freedom play for sure, bro.
Yeah, just to speak to that too, I feel like when you first get into the industry, you see people doing really well
Yeah.
out the gate. And then
Yeah.
you want to what they want to do is skip the line, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a journey that you got to get to where you're at the part where you can what HD's doing going golfing on midday,
Yeah.
right? What OT's doing, like, or doing those vacations, like you got to go through the journey first. So like I knew out the gate because I've seen it in the practice company, like you got to put in that work prior to you getting to where you want to go. So like
No
right now, like that's exactly what I'm doing. Like I know my time's coming and now I'm here, right? So
doubt, dude. No doubt. You've already beat the odds, man. In terms of like statistical success for an average agent coming into this industry, you know? So I want to kind of shift this, right? Because obviously, there are a lot of people within our audience right now who may have come from sales experience or they haven't come from sales experience. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But
yeah.
in terms of your sales experience, I feel like, I mean, kind of touch on like, what have you transferred from what you've learned previously, even on the B2B side, even
Yeah.
into the insurance side? Like, what do you think you feel like you've completely had to relearn in that sense?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? It doesn't matter, like you said, right? It doesn't matter whether you have sales experience or you don't. Like it's a new muscle that you're working out, right? So I mean, think about you're learning new systems, you're learning new scripts, everything that you had in the past, like it's completely different, right?
Mm,
So like I said, it's a new muscle. So it's imagine going to the gym, right? Like you're not going to lift the heaviest weight. You start off, maybe you might do 135. You're getting it. All right, that's you dialing, you're getting your nose, you're building those calluses, and then from there, you just keep going every day. The next
mm,
day, it's the next day you're tired, like, oh man, I'm sore, I'm not going to go to work, like, or I'm not going to go to the gym. It's the same situation. Like all of a sudden now you're putting up 225 and you're putting in 30K weeks, right? Or 30K weeks, that's 30K months, right? And then from there, you hit that 315, it's like 88K month.
Mhm.
That's literally you're training a muscle. So in the beginning, whether you've had experience or not, it's going to be difficult in the beginning. Like that is it. It's a
Mhm.
new muscle you're working out. Whether you go to the gym or not, it's one of those things that you just got to keep showing up.
No
You
doubt.
build that, and then it becomes muscle memory after you start getting it.
No doubt, dude. And I'm glad that you touched on that too, man, because like that's a big thing that a lot of people undermine, man. Like if you really like again, it's a skill, right? It's a skill that has to be attained. And some folks like they've it doesn't even have to be necessarily sales experience. Like if you know how to just talk to people, like you can just be a personable individual. As long as you know how to talk to someone, or you know how to even like even if you like flipping burgers, like we have a guy, David Midgley, kid was at In-N-Out Burger, right? And he's coming here popping off, right? But the thing is, like, he knows how to talk to people, right? He's personable. He's trained to be a personable person. So, like, again, some people don't even know. I think we kind of overcomplicate it sometimes. Like, we fail to realize that we've actually done exactly what this career requires us to do, just in different areas of our life. You see, in day-to-day conversation, in your situation where you've had sales experience, right? You've had the blessings of having it. So like even before you came here, you've already had to pay off your ignorance debt in a different industry. So you know what it's like to hear an FU on the phone. You know what it's like to get punched in the face. You know what it's like to have to overcome objections, right? And
Exactly.
so that's a huge piece because that's like the hardest part for a lot of people getting in this industry, right? That's the first stage. It's like getting that like momentum, right? Getting that, being able to close that first policy, then getting your first 5K month, then your first 10K month. Instead of coming in and thinking, hey, damn, I see Ingo, he wrote $88,000 in production, but they fail to realize where did Ingo actually come from? What did Ingo
Right.
have to do to be able to write that kind of business? What kind of skills did he have to attain? Who did he have to become in order to be able to do that? So, huge piece there. Now, you also talk about like mindset, right? Like you're big on mindset, and I know this the term mindset in itself can be abused at times.
Right.
We can agree on that, right? People just get on in these conversations, like, yeah, it's just a mindset, yeah. No, but they want to elaborate. So let's talk about that. So I guess what did you have to recognize about your personality, strengths, weaknesses, and habits before you could produce at a high level? Because yes, it still took you 3 months to be able to crack 33. So there was definitely a ramp up period. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big thing, number one, you always got to be learning, right? Every call, it doesn't matter if they give you a no, like that's still a learning experience. So like even when you're booking appointments, like all right, they hung up on me that time. All right, I got them all the way down to they're going to book the appointment. They didn't show. All right, how can I get it to where I solidify that appointment? All right, now they showed up to the appointment. Now how can all right, I lost them on the social. Then from there you're learning. All right,
Mm,
now I'm gonna same thing. You're just gonna keep going, keep going. You have to keep learning on
mm,
everything. Now, as far as mindset and like just I'm a positive person too. Like it's just no matter what, like I have short-term memory, bro.
mm,
Like with all there's like somebody tells me no on the phone, all right, I'm on to the next. Like that's I lost them on the banking or whatever, lost them on the people wherever you lose them on. It's like, all right, I have other families that I need to protect and I'm gonna go do that, right?
no
And then
doubt.
it's one of those things like the one thing you can control is your attitude, right? So that's you just got to stay positive. And then as far as like a mindset, it's like, look, you got to tell yourself like, look, I'm gonna make that last out. I'm gonna work an extra hour. I'm gonna if you haven't hit your goals, like, bro, you got to do it. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, like if that's what you're doing, like, if you have your why has to be strong enough for you to do it.
No
So
doubt. No
that's
doubt.
that's that's
But
what I
this
would
had to be created though, no? Like this thought process, this ability to even be able to be in a position where you have the luxury to be positive when you get banged on
right.
social or yet, given X amount of objections and still like maintain your frame. I'm sure you had to develop this. I'm sure there was times when like you probably lost your shit, dude, like for sure early on in
Yeah.
in different industries, right?
Yeah.
Because this is big, bro. Like this is really big. Like being like that can throw someone off. Like being able to like losing one's frame can throw someone off for a long period of time. Like people get into funks all the time. And so I know you talk about staying positive and you're a positive guy, and that's great. But there's no way, I mean, maybe you're like one of one in the sense where like you're the only person I've ever maybe talked to who's like never been shaken and like had to develop
No.
this.
Yeah, you definitely have to develop it, right? One thing I always say is always smile. Number
Mm,
one, they hear it over the phones, but number two, good things happen when you smile. So
mm,
always smile.
mm,
And then as far as like developing it, like one look, you could have a bad day or two, and then next thing you know, pop off like
mm,
what happened Friday. I hit 8,200 in a day. Like, and every day I'm telling myself it's a 10K day. You
mm.
can, that's a stretch goal, but like your mind doesn't know whether or not you're lying to yourself or if it's a reality. So
No
you just
doubt.
gotta, hey, 10K day, whether or not you believe in it or not, you're telling yourself I'm gonna get a 10K day. And yeah, my team, we're always doing 10K day, 10K day. So
I
that's the
love
goal.
that. I love that. I love you know you talk about goals too, man. Like goals, it's not even like when you set a goal, dude. I feel like this is the biggest thing, right? The biggest thing between a goal and a dream, right? People like unfortunately we make the mistake of mislabeling our goals to be dreams, right? What's the key difference? And maybe you can attest to this as well.
Mislabeling your goals for
Mislabeling goals as dreams. We're calling dreams goals. A dream is, yeah, man, I want to be a Hall of Fame producer, but I'm gonna go and work for maybe half the, maybe 20 hours a week, and I'm gonna go and do it. That is a dream, my friend.
yeah,
Right?
fact. No, so yeah,
And,
speak
and
to
and
that.
no, not maybe not even work behind it, but a goal seems to be what
Yeah,
you're doing right now, which is obviously backing with
exactly.
action.
Yeah, exactly. So think about that, right? If your goal is to be Hall of Fame is 400,000, you got some fall off or whatever like that. So you gotta do the math, dumb it down for yourself. Bro, if it like divided by 12, right? And then from there, divided by how many weeks? Make it simple. All right. So if I need to hit a 10K week, the average deal size is, let's say hypothetically, 2,500. You need 5 deals a week,
Mhm.
right? And then from there, like, all right, that is your goal for the day, and then you have your goal for the year. You
No
breaking it down like that and making it simplified like that is going to keep you on track. Because some
doubt.
days you'll pop off for, a crazy day, like a 20K day, and then all of a sudden, you're off, but at least, you have a goal daily.
Mhm.
So you have your daily goals, which is good to have because when you start seeing those little successes, like even it doesn't even have to be like sales. Like if your goal is, you know, 10K a week and your daily goals, it should be your what you're doing daily. So like 250 dials, that should be a goal. I need to say at least three, four people. That should be a goal. And then you see those wins,
Mhm.
those little wins right there. Even if you don't get a sale, that's a win. That's a positive, right? And then from there, you just keep going. So
Yeah.
that's how I structure that's how I work my days. Like every day, it's not just about like a sale. It's like, all right. And then even if you have a good conversation with the client, who knows? Maybe they'll follow back up. And the next thing you know, you're getting a quick sale that you already had that should have closed it a while ago. But that's how it works. Like it's not you have to have that goal,
Mhm.
figure out how to get there. You have to have a plan and strategize to get there. Like you can't just you have to have point A to point B. That's like why you use Google Maps, right? Like you're not just like, oh, I'm trying to go to the United Center. Like, I don't know how to get there. Let me just take all these roads. Like, no, point A to point B, and you got to take a right and a left here. And that's exactly how you're going to do that with those daily goals,
No doubt, dude.
daily
No doubt.
activity. Yeah.
So, actually about you too is that you actually are a pretty big proponent of one of the new features in our organization, which is a policy HQ, if I'm not mistaken. Like you've been using that a lot, and that's how we kind of were able to even see that your numbers were, the way that they are. And so I know you just talked about you referenced something
which is super powerful in the sense where you talked about all basically Harold talks about this a lot too, HD, about the dots connecting, right? You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So based on what you just explained, obviously you talk about, you have a year-long goal and then you connect it moving like looking backwards in terms of months, then in terms of weeks, in terms of days, then you break it down in terms of money in the bank, the IP, submit, whatever it may be, right? And so I don't know. Have you used the activity tracker in Policy HQ yet? Have you seen any of that?
No, I haven't. I
Dude,
haven't.
it's crazy. I don't want to like start going on a
Yeah.
different, getting off topic here, but if anyone here is like sort of trying to establish their goals, there's actually a thing in there that explains exactly what you just said, where it's like a goal tracker, and then you can like input all your daily activities so it can identify your close rate. You can even put your expenses in there too. So like your personal expenses, business expenses, everything. So you actually know like how much money you're putting in and know how much you're getting out and how far you are from your goals entirely, dude. So definitely, could be helpful for a lot of people. Now, moving on here, kind of want to shift into like the lead strategy. I know we talked a little bit about mindset, but we want to talk about lead strategy, right? Because you did crack obviously 33,000 first 3 months in using aged mortgage leads. So, what was your strategy going into that month? Like, talk to me about activity, talk to me about schedule, where you want to assist, where you take on your own spend. Get
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
give me the
What's
data,
going on?
please.
Yeah, so I've been on assist with OT the whole time I've been here. This month has been my first month where I'm doing unions. But I mean, just to
Beautiful.
start, so like that first month where I hit age mortgage, like, you know, one of the things that I told myself was like he was trying to implement, potentially adding a lead type. And I was like, no, let me prove to myself that I can do at least 30K with these age mortgage. Now, what
Mhm.
that looked like daily was it's 250 dials minimum. Like
Mhm.
if bro, the at the practice company when I was if you didn't do 250 dials, they're taking your leads from you or you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
beat leads. So
And they give you what they. So I'm going to cut you off, but I know the practice company we used to get 250 leads a
yeah, exactly.
month, or even like every 2 weeks, 250.
Yeah.
Crazy. Continue though.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, facts. Yeah. So Um, yeah, and then my daily activity was 250 dials minimum, right? So if I go into the week on Monday and I have zero appointments, by the end of the day, my calendar's filled up. Like, bro, I'm
Mhm.
if that day is a booking day where I'm always trying to do a one call close, but if it's a booking day, like, bro, I'm packing my calendar. Like the whole week, like one week I'll start off with zero for the week, and then all of a sudden it's 19, 20 appointments. And then from there, that's where I got to that 30K. Um, now
Mhm.
Wave Dialer was a game changer for me. So for all the new agents that don't have it, like man, that is money. You just sit there, let it dial. And I
Mhm.
at first I was kind of hesitant on it because I came from the practice company, so I was just manually dialing, like just dial,
Yeah,
dial,
cell phone
connect,
spreadsheet.
dial,
Yeah.
dial, dial. Like no, now it's like bro, double dial. I don't know if you can do triple dial anymore, but double dial. And that was when it just took off. I was like, boom. And that's when you start to learn, like, all right, the script work, the scripts work, but you can
Mhm.
implement your own kind of like, I mean, you're your own person, right? You can put your own personality into it. But like from there, my daily activity was literally anywhere between 250K plus some days 600, 900, doesn't matter. And then as far as like my work schedule, it was all right, I'm gonna work 8 to 8 and I'm just gonna grind it out. Like if I didn't make I gotta make a sale, at least a sale a day. Those were my
Mhm.
daily goals. If you guys were
Mhm.
wondering, like as far as a new agent goes, 8 to 8. I know if you guys have some, some other obligations, then I mean that might be a little hard for you. But like other than that, like I'm just dialing all day. Like I just let that
Mhm.
go. Because think about it. Like we have the luxury of a CRM, which is amazing. Like, bro, text messages, they respond back. Bro, if I get a not
Mhm.
interested, but that dude's on his phone. Like, when I get text messages, like, I don't have my notifications on. That's a distraction for me. So, like, the people that aren't texting you back, like, bro, call them. And then if somebody calls me a non-interest,
Mhm.
gives me a non-interested, bro, I'm calling them. Like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Hey, this is I'm a state licensed
As long as it's not
underwriter.
a compliance
Hey,
violation. Yeah.
that's a little Oh, I thought it says stop, but anyways, okay. But yeah, that's what I was doing. So basically, yeah, for the most part, I was just down.
Beautiful.
And then like, really, they're not interested. Why are they not in? You filled this out. Why are you not interested? It's like, oh, already got it taken care of. Perfect. All right, let me update my file here. Do you know who you went with? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So
POS.
they just released the new rates for 4th of July. They extended it for the month. Let's go ahead and have a conversation here. When's a good time for you
Mm-hmm.
and your so and so? Instead of that being a no, now it's a maybe. Now that's a swing
Mm-hmm.
at the bat. Like so
Dude,
that's
that's
how I'm
fire.
doing it.
That's fire. That's fire stuff. And that's what people need to hear, man. That 8 to 8, man, just dialing away, doing what you need to do. I mean, there's
But
no way, right? And then once you're like, again, now you made your money. I think we don't touch on this enough too. You just popped off, made a, God knows how much in income. You put some money up aside for, your leads for the next month, save
right.
some money, and anything left over, go travel for like a weekend. Go leave for like, 3, 4 days, maybe even a week, come back, rip it again, bro. You could do the same thing all over and go travel again the next month for a few days, right? Like that's the beauty of this business, man. And you can take your computer, phone, you can still even close wherever you're at.
Exactly.
So
That's
it's fire stuff.
exactly what I did for 4th of July. Exactly what I did. I went to Portland, uh, got to see the family, met up with some of the people in Portland, Long and Daniel, and
Fire.
3K deal, good to go. Made my money for the weekend. All right, let's get back to it. And the nice thing was like when you're seeing all your boys and you're making all that money, like you can, hey, I got it. Like that's don't worry about it, I got it. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a good feeling, right?
Yeah,
So
no doubt, dude. When everyone's eating, dude, when everyone's eating, that's the
yeah,
greatest feeling, man. When the whole tribe
right.
is getting up there, man. It's good. Now I guess what do you think most agents like misunderstand about age leads, and why do so many mentally give up on them before they work them properly, in your opinion?
Right. I think the big thing is they have like a negative connotation to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is it. Like I think they like you could either go in there and say, yeah, that too. Nobody wants to dial. So it's that yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of no's. Like that's a learning experience for you. Like that is how you get better. And then from there, you start overcoming those no's where they don't want an appointment or whatnot. And then from there, you start you start closing. And then you're like, all right, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the big thing. It's like I said, I'm a positive person. Like if somebody else is doing it, bro, you could do it too. That is it. Like
No doubt.
if yeah, everybody's human here. We put our right sock on like everybody else does, our left sock on next. Like it's everybody can do it. Like that is
No
it.
doubt.
It's really, bro, you just got to have that grit. Like if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Yeah.
Not that easy, right? So
Yeah, and
just got to
and
grind it
you get
out.
the same objections. You get literally the same objections on aged and fresh. It's the exact
Yeah,
same
exactly.
thing.
Exactly. Like, no, I'm not, yeah, I'm good. No, you just keep going. That's it. And then if you get a no, like that last no is bringing you closer to your next yes.
Hmm.
Like, gotta have that grit, bro. Gotta have
Hmm.
that dog in you. You
No
know what I mean?
doubt. The dog, yes, sir, with a W. Tell me this though. How do you like organize, recycle, follow up with age leads so opportunities don't disappear after like one or two attempts? I know you referenced earlier that like if someone says they're not interested, you'll pick up the phone, you'll call them, right? But like, is there a way that you, I guess, like, organize them based on like time zone or in terms of like age? I don't know. Is there any way,
Yeah,
or you just like rip through them?
dude. Well, number one, I ripped through them, and then I ripped through them, and then when I first started, I would start with Eastern and then work my way
Mhm.
towards PST. So beginning of
Fine.
the day, eight to 12, like I'm busting out all my Eastern, and then from there I'm doing Central, and then from there I'm doing PST. If you're not smacking anything or you're not getting any deals from there, flip it. Start
Mhm.
with the PST first, CST, and then Eastern. And then
Mhm.
you just never know. You're gonna catch them. Some people work nights. Some people work days, some people work nights, some people work graveyard. Like you just never know.
Mhm.
Just got to keep it going.
No doubt.
And all
Uh,
you got to do is catch them on that one time when they're just like,
mhm.
all right, yeah, I've been meaning to get to this. I've just been busy
Mhm.
with work. Perfect.
That's the
I've been
truth.
meaning to get to it too. I've been calling you the
Mhm.
last week and a half. So
That's the bare truth, man.
Kind of tying into that too, another big thing is like, contact rates. Like I guess when contact rates are low and then like the rejections start piling up. I know you talked about mental frame, things like that, but like how do you prevent yourself from mentally checking out? When you like dial the phones, maybe you've called like 300 people, maybe you only got like 5, 10 contacts somehow. And out of those 5 contacts, all of them told you to go jump off a bridge, right?
Yeah.
How do you prevent yourself from mentally checking out for the day and then keep dialing through that?
Yeah, I think man, I have fun with it, right?
Hmm.
So I like if somebody hangs up on me, I'll just like I don't want to talk to you anyways. And then just keep going like I have fun with it. Like I don't take it personal. Like I'm
Hmm.
not gonna let somebody control my emotions because they either having a bad day or whatnot.
Hmm.
Like, go on, wait. You filled this out. This isn't important to you. You don't
Hmm.
like you wanted to make sure so and so didn't have to pay the mortgage, didn't have to do this. Wanted to make sure the funeral final expenses were taken care of, and now you're like, what's going on here? I'm a little confused, you know? So
Hmm.
that's how I do it. I have fun with it. So
Beautiful. I guess I also want to talk about this too, man, because you did the $33,000 a month, but then 3 months later, you did $45,000 in a week, right? If I'm not mistaken, correct?
yes,
Okay.
45,000.
What was the result of that major breakthrough? Like, was that like just smaller habits or like your skills finally compounding or spend or what exactly transpired there?
Yeah, it's everything, right? Everything just comes into play. Like some that's the thing about sales, right? You want to ride the highs and then stop the lows as quick as possible.
Hmm.
So when it comes to, 45K week, I'm doing I'm not reinventing the wheel. All right.
Hmm.
I'm just turning it a little better, especially
Hmm.
that week, right?
Hmm.
So it's literally I'm doing the same thing I do every day. I
Hmm.
dial, and that's what I'm saying. It's like 10K day. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
10K day. All of a sudden, it's a 20K day.
Hmm.
Like, oh, okay. And the next thing you know, you just keep going, keep going, keep going. Like
Hmm.
some days I don't get a sale. Like I never let that stop me. But it's one of those things like everything that you've been working on and all the deposits that you've been doing
Hmm.
daily
Hmm.
all come together.
No
Like
doubt.
people like when people tell me like, oh, they got lucky, it's like, no, you've been dialing for this amount of time. Like, you're not lucky. You put in the work. And that's why you are where you're at right now. That's why
Mm.
Wake up
like I put
dinner.
in the
All
work.
right.
You gotta grind.
No doubt. No doubt.
Huh?
So now another big thing is like role playing, right? Like you've been with us now for 6 months. Obviously, there was a ramp up period. There's ignorance debt to be paid off. We're always learning, right?
Right.
And any like new sales industry, you already know that like you have to learn a whole new product. I guess how important has the role playing been in your development? Like, what do you think a new agent or what do you think agents in general should be practicing consistently?
Well, yeah, definitely role playing is key. Like you should think of, think about, bro, a sales call, like if you break it down, it's the intro, discovery, pitch, overcome objection, and close. That is a sales call to the
Mhm.
core. So if you
Mhm.
have a new script, break it down. Know the intro, know the discovery,
Mhm.
know the pitch, know the close. And then from there, like as far as role playing goes, like everybody here wants to see you win. Like
Mhm.
everybody. Nobody here wants to see you lose. So everybody wants to work with you. So role play, role play, role play. Like that's the biggest like thing that you learn. Now the next thing
Amazing.
that like as far as like what I've noticed from like the Monday calls,
Mhm.
like you guys get a lot of information on these calls.
Mhm.
It's hard to retain. Like, bro, it's a lot of information that you're getting on these calls. You should come to this call you should get at least 2 to 3 takeaways and then implement them for the week.
Mhm.
Like that is it. Like you don't need to do the whole thing. You don't need to learn the whole like it's one to two, three things, implement it, and then from there, the next week, all right, this is the where I lost it. This is where I lost a sale. All right, let's see if they talk about this. All right, now I'm gonna implement this into my next call. But the big thing, right? Like what I got from the Monday calls, right, was there's three things that the top producers like do. Number one, they all have a routine. If you don't have a routine, you're cooked, right? Like you got to be. I have a routine where like like if a top producer tells me he's listening to Justin Bieber, bro, I'm turning it on baby first thing in the morning. I don't like what are we talking about here? But like you gotta have a routine. Like it's my routine, wake up, drink water, coffee, walk my dog, get a lift in, and then I'm down. But I don't
Mm,
just have a routine for that. I have a routine for my carriers. Like I'm starting off with Mutual of Omaha America. And then if they tell me they got congestive heart failure, I'm going to Transamerica and Ethos. So I have all that ready to go. Now
mm,
you're simplifying your day as you
mm,
go. Now
mm,
that's something you got to learn as you continue to go. And then the next thing would be like the one call closes.
mm, mhm,
That is that is something that like is key. Like that's
mm,
something that I learned from your guys' team. Like, bro, you guys are dogs when it comes to one call closes. So that's why I had to make sure that I implemented that. Like when you're doing like the new Facebook leads and stuff like that, like it's you got to do the one call closes. That's
mhm.
that's where it's at. And then the last thing is lead flow. Like you guys all had like it's the leads that are coming in. Like scared money don't make money, so you got to spend
Mhm.
it. So
Mhm. Yeah, man. And most of us all started on the same lead types too. Shout out
yeah,
HD and Samir, man. Everyone got put on. Actually, when we got here, we were calling off our cell phones and spreadsheets because we didn't believe in the CRM. We came from the practice company too. We called our cell phones and spreadsheets. HD would give us aged MP PDFs, and we would go through them, and we have to like not even spreadsheets. I don't think it was PDFs, and we had to like look at the number and look at people's handwriting, and then like type it in our phones based off that. Aim and
yeah.
Con issue paid 28,000 like first month off of just doing that alone.
Let's go.
But yeah, I mean that's just to get everyone to understand like you know everyone has to start somewhere, right? So huge pieces you just touched on. Now I want to kind of shift this into like a role play, right? In a few scenarios, right? So obviously from an agent stance and then from a carrier stance, so from a client stance. So let's just say I'm an agent. I come up to you, right? And I say, man, Ingo, these are terrible, man. Nobody answers the phone, and everyone I reach out to says I'm not interested. How would you coach me in that situation?
Yeah, so well, number one, I would say you got to shift your mindset on that.
Mm,
They're not terrible.
mm,
And then from there it would be, what are you doing? Like, let's hear a call.
mm,
Let's see what you can tweet. All right,
mm,
try this next time. Try
mm,
this next time. Add this.
mm,
Like that is literally the way to go. And then like push a little harder.
mm,
They already got to know. You already it was already a no before you even started. Like,
mm,
let's see if we can get it to a maybe. All
mm,
right. And then from there, now it's a swing at the plate. Now you're practicing. It's
mm,
game time. You're practicing.
mm,
So that is how I would coach that. Like, hey, let's listen to a call.
mm,
Let's see what you're doing wrong. Let's see. Maybe it's your tonality.
mm,
Maybe you sound like you're on a script.
mm,
Maybe it's, your rebuttal that you need to work on. That's like, it's just, I'm not interested. Okay,
mm,
thanks. Bye. Like, oh, what?
mm,
You didn't even try. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm. No doubt. Okay. So you obviously help me shift my frame, my inner frame, and then you'd also listen to my call recordings to dissect what
Yeah.
exactly is going wrong and coach me on those word tracks or whatever you may have it. Now I want to shift into obviously the client side of things, right? Let's talk about like objection handling, right? I know it's a big common one with age mortgage protection, which is someone who says, "Yeah, I don't remember requesting the information." How are you handling that?
Yeah. So I don't remember. Yeah, no worries. So, sometimes somebody in the household actually somebody in the household might have requested this. It looks like Mary's on the account. Is that your wife? Perfect. Yeah, it's just my job to give you that information. You got some time right now?
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
go.
yeah.
Oh, go
Hmm.
ahead.
Okay.
You got some time right now?
No, I'm busy right now, man. I don't think my wife actually filled this
Hey,
out. I'm
you know what? No worries. We work by appointments anyways, right? So, what's a good time? Either later today or tomorrow.
beautiful. Cool. Today.
Yeah. All right,
So,
perfect. And then I'm gonna send you here just to close it, right? Hey, I'm gonna send you a text because if you're down from the web. Hey, I'm gonna send you a text message from my direct line. It's gonna come
mhm.
from a 360 number. Let me know when you receive it. You get that
Got it.
text?
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect. Do me a favor. Can you reply C to that just to make sure? My calendar
Mhm.
sends text notifications for you. It just, it helps both parties from forgetting.
Mhm.
So It's not me, it's my calendar, okay? So I'll see you what
Fine.
time again?
6 p.m.
All right, perfect. That was a trick
Beautiful.
question. All right, talk to you later.
Fire. Okay. So you come into the objection with assuming that someone else in the household filled it out.
Yeah.
And then if they're busy, then you're gonna set the appointment and you do a call to action, right? You don't let them on the phone until they have been able to see the text message. And I think that's an elite level sort of tactic there. I think the biggest thing that most folks do is just book it on the calendar, send the text out, and they don't do that sort of call to action. Then people forget about the appointments. But these little things, man, they contribute so much to the overall like show rate of the appointment, man. So it's good to see that you're doing this, and there's no question as to why you've been able to produce at such a high level using these strategies. I guess before we kind of wind down here, what advice would you give to an agent struggling with inconsistency or self-doubt? And I guess what are your future production, leadership, even like personal goals?
Yeah. Great question. So first one would be for a new agent, right? Like I was telling you guys before, this is a it's a new job. You're doing something new. It's going to be
Mm,
difficult in the beginning. Like I said,
mm,
like when you go to the gym, like you're not lifting the heaviest weight. You're
mm,
waiting like you're coming in the next day you come in even though you got beat like everybody said no yesterday. You're coming in the next day you're sore, but like hey, you just keep going.
mm,
Sooner or later it's going to turn around and click. Next thing you know you're increasing 185, 225, 315 like you're putting up all that weight.
mm,
And that's from you just every your daily deposits.
mm,
So you just got to keep going. Like
mm,
that is my biggest advice
mm,
is keep going. You got to have that grit. Like just
mm,
make that extra dollar.
mm,
Make sure you hit your daily goals.
mm,
If it's 250 minimum, like make
mm,
sure you're hitting that. If
mm,
you got to start changing whether or not you need to have more appointments,
mm,
start trying to book more appointments.
mm,
Uh, and then from there, like my personal goal, I want to hit Hall of Fame. Um,
mm.
that is
First
my
year, rookie
first
Hall
year
of Fame. Oh
rookie Hall of
God,
Fame.
good
So
Lord, that'd be insanity. Yeah,
yeah,
you will,
it's a grind, but
dude. With
let's
that
get it.
schedule,
I'm
bro,
gonna
with
do it.
this activity, that schedule
Yeah,
and that activity, there's no way you don't. There's
yeah,
no way you don't. So, man, bro, I'm
yeah.
rooting
So
for
that,
you. I'm in your
yeah, I
corner.
appreciate that, man. Hopefully, I'm on the stage next, but I will be on the stage at the end of the year.
There you go. There you go, dude. You got it.
Yeah,
Now, hopefully, you got it, bro.
yeah,
Last thing we always like to conclude with, man, is like question the last guest asked for the current guest, and then you ask a question for the next guest. So, I guess what would last guest ask? What would you change? Would you change the struggle that you went through to be able to be here now? Would you
yeah. It's a
change
great
it?
question. I would say no.
Okay.
Like that struggle shapes the person who I am today.
Mm,
Right. Those no's that you get, those deals where it's a big deal where you're about to hit like a 2, 3, 4, 5K deal, and all of a sudden you lose it on something like that just trains you and teaches you to be like, all right, you just got to keep going.
mm,
So you learn from your mistakes, and then yeah, no, I wouldn't because like I said earlier, like most people want to skip the line. They want to be they want to be doing what, the top producers are doing. They want to go ahead and, you know, go yeah, like I said, HD, go golfing midday or go do an OT, HD and OT, golfing midday. It's like you no, wait your line, wait your turn, but like you got to go through the journey. Like they aren't where they're at now because of they just started. No,
mm,
they went through it. They built the system for us. They have a blueprint
mm,
for us.
mm,
Like, bro, lock in. That's it.
mm. Yeah, that's the truth,
Uh,
dude.
lock
You
in.
got
That's
you got a question for the next guest?
um yeah, so hmm. I didn't think about this one.
It's okay. Take your time. You're not
Let's
the first.
say okay, because I was gonna say, would you do anything differently? But that's
Mm,
literally the same question
hmm
that you just asked me. So
All good.
let me see.
What question would you ask the next leader to challenge them at the deepest level?
I'd say, yeah, I'm a little stumped here. Let me pull up
It's all good.
ChatGPT real quick.
No, that's cool. You
Just
can do
kidding.
that, dude. Not a problem. I guess if you were in
Um,
front of like who do you like is anyone you look up to in particular? Like or someone you gain inspiration from, like a Hormozy or a Martel or someone like that?
yeah, Alex Hermosi.
So if you're in front of Hormozy, what would you ask? What's the first question you'd ask him? You run him in public.
Man, that'd be crazy. First of all, that'd be
Yeah,
insane.
yeah, it
Um,
would be.
what, gosh, what kept you going?
Hmm.
Something simple like what kept you going? Like if you guys are familiar with Alex Hermosi, he had gyms and then all of a sudden lost it all, came
Mm-hmm.
back, had a
Mm-hmm.
significant other that was really helpful in that
Mm-hmm.
time frame, like, and then he's a crazy entrepreneur right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's insane.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
What kept
Having
you
a
going?
child, dude. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Fire. Fire, dude. Other than that, man, I want to open up for questions. First of all, can everyone unmute, please, and say thank you to Ingo for joining us? Just
That was
appreciate
helpful,
him
bro.
Thank
for
you.
taking some time.
Thanks,
Everyone
Ingo.
unmute.